Hey, welcome back. I have a question for you. Do you know the secrets of a creative warrior? Do you even know what a creative warrior is? You will now. My name is Vin Dacquino, and our guest is Seth Greenwald.
Hey.
Seth, how you doing, buddy?
Very good, Vin. Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What the heck is a creative warrior, Seth?
Well, that's a great question, Vinny. A creative warrior is what you need to connect with to get what you want out of life.
And the creative warrior is in you?
The creative warrior is in you. It's a combination of your intuition, it acts as your guide in order to navigate on your road to success, right? Everyone wants to get something out of life, but a lot of times there's a lot of inner adversity on the road. But your creative warrior is something that understands where you're headed.
So you help people get in touch with that creative warrior?
Yes, I do. I do. And in my first book, I have more than 50 techniques on how to get in touch with your creative warrior.
Now, when you say first book, this is the first book.
That's
Secrets of a Creative Warrior.
That's correct.
So this is the secrets. And then you have a second book we'll talk about a little later.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Pretty soon. It's coming April 1st is the book launch.
Wow,
yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, so talk to me. What is this? And this is a practical guide for developing your creative warrior.
Right. Well, creativity is based on divergent thinking.
Okay.
Right. The principle in this book, one of the main principles in this book is that your idea will never be your best. So you need to develop many ideas. And this book helps you develop those ideas. Because if you have an idea and it's not your best idea, you might go on the wrong path. But if you allow yourself to have quantity of ideas over the quality of ideas at the onset, you'll have a lot of ideas to be able to compare to. And then you can pick your best. You can pick the road that you need to.
So is there a certain process for doing this?
Well, it's all about not evaluating your ideas. It's kind of like sitting back and just letting
those
don't
ideas
critique.
happen.
Yes, don't critique your ideas. Don't order your ideas.
It's sort of, I work with writers all the time.
Yeah.
I've been working for many years with many writers.
Yeah.
And one of the things I tell them is to try to breathe life into the book and then let the book do the work.
Right, exactly.
So is this sort of the same idea? Begin an idea and then let that idea grow and develop?
Yeah, the key is to get into the flow, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm a writer. And the way I write is that I get into the flow and let the words come out. As soon as I connect with my creative writer, my creative warrior, my creative writer, I can't edit. I don't edit till the end, right? So that's another thing.
That's like trying to paint a house before you build it.
Exactly. Just let it go. Let it flow, and then you come back and then you edit it. But if you try to edit it and create at the same time, that's not going to work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's really a stream of consciousness?
Yeah.
It's to have an idea and then let that idea flow.
Exactly right.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Some writers work well that way, some don't. What you're saying is generally it does work, but you have to learn how to develop the sense of doing that.
Yes.
It's not something that's 100% natural.
Right. It's not 100% natural because most of we're taught to use our left brain, right? Use our analytical left brain. What about the other half of your brain, your right brain?
So you're going to the right.
You got to go to the right. And it's kind of like a veil being lifted. As soon as you get to experience the right side of your brain, you're like, man, what have I been missing my whole life? Well, now I feel whole. It's a holistic approach.
I understand what it's kind of like a freedom. You're allowing yourself to think out of the box.
Exactly. And that's a lot of my first book is about techniques to help you think out of the box.
Give me an example of one of those techniques.
Oh, okay, all right. A lot of people like the technique called try a new mustard.
Try a new mustard.
It's try a new mustard.
Know.
Yeah.
I hate hot mustard. I hope that's not one of them.
It's not. It's not one of them for you, Vinny. But
there you go.
On the shelf one day, I went to my local A&P, and I'm like, I was going to get my Golden's mustard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, there's like 46 other types of mustard. What have I been
Why are
doing?
you only using the
Why
same
am I
one?
only?
I only use yellow mustard, I warn you.
So I literally start counting the number of mustards. And then, so I picked the one that's called the Bavarian sweet mustard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then, know what happened? Just
You
from
liked it.
I liked it, but just from picking that different type of mustard, I found where my ancestors lived 150 years ago. Because it's true.
Okay.
It's creative. It's the creative process.
Pretty creative.
Whenever you make a small change in your life, it can make a
it can lead to
major
other things.
impact.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I will tell you, I taught for 35 years. The last 5 years of my teaching career, I taught teachers.
Teachers, yes.
Holy cow. There's a 5-letter word that you don't want to use around a lot of teachers. It's called change.
Change, exactly.
Change
Exactly.
is so difficult sometimes.
very difficult.
You know, there's so many teachers who use workshops that their teachers gave them 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to get into a swing of a new thing and understand that times change and methods change.
Right.
So realizing that you have to do things a little differently gets scary.
It is very
So
scary.
this is a little bit scary.
It's a little
So
scary.
you try a different kind of mustard and hope that works on your sandwich.
Hope that works. But it's more than a sandwich. It literally helped me to find Oktoberfest in Munich, you know, because they
Really?
use this type of mustard.
That's wild.
So this past October, I went to Munich. I went to Oktoberfest.
Oh my goodness.
And now, and that's the reason I wrote my second book, just because I tried a new mustard.
Wow.
When I was in
wild.
Munich, I met a guy who said, "When's your second book coming out?" I'm like, "I don't have a second book." So just trying a new mustard has allowed
So
the world
dare
to
to
have
try.
a second book.
All right, so that's a technique. Technique is try other things.
Try other
Be
things.
willing to
Yeah.
break loose.
In small ways. In small
In
ways.
small ways. Okay.
Like, what if you just wanted to? What if you take the same direction, the same route to work?
Work every day.
What if you just changed that a bit? Would you meet new people? Would you have new experiences? How would that change your whole day?
Even change your GPS.
Right.
All right. So wild.
And-
Another technique.
Yeah. Another technique, is literally changing the direction of your the way you move. Changing the direction of the way you move. Changing the way you
So the way you think.
The way you think.
And then the way you move.
Because it's all about action, right?
You know, another thing that I do when I talk to writers, I say, all right, so here's a couple questions for you. Where do you write? If you've been writing in the kitchen, try the library.
Yes.
If you did the library, try the back deck.
Exactly.
If you've done the back deck, try the attic.
Right.
And changing where you write seems very little, but it could make a big difference.
Right.
What do you wear when you write?
Right.
If you write in your pajamas instead of what you wore in work all day,
Exactly.
it might change how you view what you're doing and put you in a different mindset.
Right.
So I understand exactly what you're
It
saying.
opens you. It frees you up.
It frees you up and it gives you a chance to think a little differently.
little outside the box.
Yeah.
Outside the box, and you have to
Yeah.
get comfortable with
Yeah.
that feeling of not being comfortable.
Yeah, we become robots in a
Yeah.
lot of ways.
Yeah.
You know, you get up, first thing you do is you go to the bathroom. Then you go here, then you go here, then you make your coffee, then you do.
Exactly.
And if you change the routine,
Yes.
it could change the way you think.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like you're on autopilot
Yeah,
a lot.
oh yeah. And we are on autopilot a
We
lot.
are.
It's scary how much we are on autopilot.
Right.
You should see when I first retired from teaching, it was like frightening.
Right.
It was like, it's 9:17. I should be doing something
I
right
should
now.
be doing something.
Isn't there a bell that's supposed to ring?
Yeah, they're like Pavlov's dog.
Yes. No, that is absolutely true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 10:19.
Yeah.
This is lunch period for the 5th grade. I
Exactly.
should be eating.
And that's what your creative warrior will tell you. He'll say, "Hey, wake up.
Yeah.
Slap. He'll slap you
change
around.
it.
Hey, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's do."
So I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of a refreshing change in your ways of thinking.
Yeah, it
So
really is.
what you're really saying is that we should manipulate the way we think
Yeah.
and not fall into the trap
Right.
of doing things the same old way.
Right.
All the time.
Right, because there's something called, you ever hear of the seventh sense?
Yeah, I saw that in your book.
That's in my book.
Talk to me
The
about the
seventh
seventh sense.
Well, you have the five senses, right?
Yep.
Sight, taste, touch, smell, and hearing.
Yep.
You have the sixth sense, which some people say intuition, some people say
like an
ESP.
kind of, yeah.
But everyone has a seventh sense.
Seventh sense. Oh, tell me about that.
It's the sense of possibility.
Ah.
It's the sense of possibility. There's something in you called the inner critic that always says, don't do that. You're not good enough to do that. Why should you start? You're going to fail. That's the opposite. That's impossibility. All you have to do is omit the I am, and you get the sense of possibility. And that's what creativity is all about. When you feel that sense of possibility, you go after it. That's what you're going towards.
Risk-taking.
Well, yeah, but it's a small thing. It's like we're talking about. Maybe I should go a different direction. Maybe I should work in my pajamas. Maybe I should have a different breakfast cereal. Maybe I should have a new mustard.
Maybe I should write my book without writing an outline first.
Right. Oh, that's risky. That is risky.
Well, that's funny you should say that because I never write an outline first.
Yeah.
But some people do.
But yes.
So change what you normally do. I mean, I was very surprised when I began working with writers. Mm-hmm. I was very surprised to see how different writers are from each other.
Yes.
And when I do writing workshops, I love to see revelations. Mm-hmm. When people go, what?
Right.
When do you write?
Right.
In the morning when you get up? I don't know.
Exactly.
I tell them I write 3 o'clock in the morning.
You write 3 o'clock in the morning.
My friends are not surprised anymore to get an email from me at 3:30 or 4 o'clock.
Really?
Because that's when I write. Everybody's gone. Nobody bothers me. I can't call anybody. I can't go anywhere. It's too dark, too quiet, and no one's around.
Interesting.
That's when I do my best writing. I tell people that, and they go, so wait, you wake up out of a dead sleep and you write? And I say, yeah, except for me, it's not such a dead sleep.
Yeah.
When my eyes open, I'm awake.
You're awake, right? So you're right. Now, that's interesting. When I wrote this book, at the same time every single day, I commute into the city.
See?
My creative warrior is ready to write at 7:15.
Yep.
At 7:15 every morning, I write for half an hour, and that's on the train, on my iPhone.
There you go.
That's what I do.
That is one of the things that amazed me most about working with writers. I call it the writer's profile.
Yeah.
That each writer has a different profile.
Yes.
How you write, where you write, when you write, why you write.
Right.
And when you change those up, there's your secrets of the creative warrior.
You have to change it up.
Be able to change it up.
Yeah.
And look, I've written over a dozen books.
Right.
And I can't tell you that each time I used the exact same method to write the book.
Right.
It's not true, especially since I write children's fiction, children's nonfiction, adult fiction, adult nonfiction. I write magazine articles. I write all sorts of things.
That's interesting.
And it depends on what moves me. So in a lot of ways, I've come to grips with my creative warrior.
Yes, you have.
I'm sure there's ways that I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't conquered my seventh sense completely.
That's right.
Because there are things that where I won't go.
Right.
But I stay where I'm comfortable.
Right.
Sometimes it is good to become uncomfortable when you're writing.
Absolutely.
And to dare to do something different.
Yeah, exactly. Dare to do it. But did you know that my creative warrior and everyone's creative warrior can help you to guide you in your life? Creative warrior is not just about creativity.
So that's where book 2
That's where book 2 comes in.
All right, talk to me about book 2. What's it called?
The book 2 is called Answering the Call of Your
we have
Creative
that up
Warrior.
on the,
Answering the Call of Your Creative Warrior.
Answering the Call of Your Creative Warrior.
And everyone wants something out of life, right?
Right.
You want something out of life. You know what you want, but you don't know how to get there. This book is about how to help you get there faster and easier.
So it isn't only about writing. It's about mowing the lawn. It's about accomplishing things that you want to accomplish.
Your big life goal.
Oh,
it's
your
your
big
calling.
life goal. Oh,
it's answering
okay.
the call of your creative warrior. Your creative warrior is ready and willing to help you get to your big
where
life goal.
you need to go.
Your
So
BHAG, your
why
big
are
hairy-
you here?
Right. Why?
And it helps you find that?
Yes, yes. In my second book, Answering the Call of Your Creative Warrior, half of the book is about my story of how my creative warrior woke me up and said, "What are you doing with your life?
What are you doing with your life,
What are
Seth?
you doing with your life? You need to get there. You need to get on the road to success."
So one of the things,
Yeah.
one of your calls
Yes.
is to help people understand
Yes.
what the creative warrior is.
Yes.
And how to get
How
there.
to connect to it.
to the
How to
creative
connect to
warrior.
your inner creative
And
warrior.
be all you need to be.
Because it's actually a thing inside you that can help you, guide you, navigate you through life to get to where you want to go.
I wish I could tell you how many young writers and old writers I've met who suddenly woke up one day
Yeah.
and said, why am I not writing?
Yes, yes.
I've wanted to write since I was 14.
Yes.
Why have I never written
Exactly,
a book? And then all of a sudden, the call of the wild.
The call of the
you know?
wild.
Yeah.
It
So
comes.
that creative warrior is screaming out
Now, the
to be
creative-
heard.
Now, I find that my creative warrior whispers.
Whisper.
Know what screams
mine.
out? Know,
Nothing about me whispers.
but know what screams out in me?
What?
My inner critic. He's screaming.
Oh.
He's saying, "You can't do that. You're going to fail. You're not good enough. Don't even try." He screams. Your inner creative warrior whispers. But he'll battle for you. He'll battle your inner critic for you.
You know, you just gave me a huge revelation because you're right. I generally answer to shouting.
Yeah.
When my inside shouts for me to do something,
Yes.
that's when I do it.
Yes.
When it whispers, my shouting side drowns it out.
Right. And that's the classic.
I should be listening
You
to the
should be
whisperer.
listening to your inner creative warrior, the whisperer.
The
Your-
warrior
if-
whisperer.
You could say creative whisperer.
like a
All right.
dog
So
whisperer,
you all
I
you can change
warrior.
the W to whisperer, creative whisperer. But I found that when I was quiet, I was able to hear him. I call it's creative warrior. It's a real entity in me.
And that's interesting because usually you listen to the loudest voices first.
Right. Exactly. And that's your inner critic. Your inner critic is always drowning out your creative warrior. But you know how to get your creative warrior stronger?
No. Yell at it.
No, through the divergent thinking techniques of the first book. If you become more open-minded through the divergent thinking techniques of trying a new mustard, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You feed your inner creative warrior. It becomes an arsenal for your creative warrior to battle your inner critic.
So let's see if I got this right.
Yeah.
Your creative warrior says, do this, you must.
Yes.
And your divergent thinking says, shh, don't listen to him.
Yeah.
I got a better idea.
Well, that's kind of like, that's what your inner critic, this is the way I think about it. Your inner critic, IC, says, I can't. I can't do it. Know what your inner creative warrior, ICW, says? I can, and I will do it. So you have to connect with your inner creative warrior and just run over your inner critic. Let your inner creative warrior
sense.
battle for you.
So it's not, it's like they talk about dieting. You go on a 3-day diet and you lose 5 pounds, but it's not going to work unless you adjust your diet
Yes.
and do it on a daily basis.
Yes, exactly.
So this creative warrior is not an overnight cure.
No. But he is there waiting for you to pick up his call. He's there. He's there in you. He's
And that's
there.
the positivity.
It's all about being positive. It's all about positive. It's all about persevering, right? Because if once you stop on your road to success, you lose.
Yeah.
You can never stop. You take little
You
steps.
can slow down.
Slow down, but don't
never stop.
Never ever stop. Just like Winston
sense.
Churchill, right? Never ever quit. If you quit, you're done.
That's right.
So
it's
one of the
over.
big principles of my second book is just to persevere in small steps. Never quit. And you'll get there because your inner creative warrior is going to help you get there and help you overcome the inner adversity, mostly from your inner critic. Yeah.
That all makes sense.
Oh, good.
Tell me more. any other creative ideas for me to become a better creative warrior?
A better creative warrior. Some more ideas is simply to. It's just. Oh, here's a key. Here's one of the keys, right? One of the keys, in order to connect with your creative warrior.
Yes.
There's a specific portal to connect with your creative warrior.
Portals, I understand.
Know what it is?
No.
It's the cutting edge of time.
Oh, time.
I'm not getting philosophical
Lord,
now.
yes.
It's the cutting. It's the now moment.
Yep.
If you figure out how to get into the now moment, don't worry about the
yeah.
past. Don't worry about the future.
Big.
Focus on right now.
Yep.
That's the portal to connect
The
with your
greatest
creative warrior.
enemy
Yeah.
of the greatest writers
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
procrastination.
Exactly.
Procrastination.
You got it, Vinny. Yeah.
And that is the loud voice.
That's the loud
it
voice.
says, go wash the car.
So
you
do
don't need to be working on his
something
book.
useful.
And the whisperer says, just sit down and get it done.
Yeah. Do your 15 minutes of writing. Do your 20 minutes of writing,
Yeah.
and then you can wash the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you know, it's interesting for many of my writers. That time element works. If I say to them, you must sit down and write, they have a hard time staring at the screen. If I say to them, you must write for 15 minutes,
Yes.
they can do it.
Right.
A very good friend of mine, Roberta Silman, who is a wonderful writer in her own right, said to me one time, Vinny, you need to write one poem a day.
One poem a day.
And once you focus on one poem a day, I'm telling you, it'll be 2 poems,
Yeah.
and 3 poems,
Right.
and a book.
Right.
She was right. It led to my first book, Kiss the Candy Days Goodbye.
Yeah.
Because it taught me discipline. And it took away some of the fears of facing nothingness to get there and not know what I was going to do next. So once I had that sense of discipline, I now understand that what I was doing was creating my creative warrior.
Exactly.
My creative warrior said, look, it's not what to do, it's how to do it.
How to do it.
Do it this way.
Do it this way.
And take your time.
Take your
and
time.
figure out who you are.
Right. And you're not going to do it all at the
Overnight.
one sitting, right?
Right.
The creative warrior tells you to do it in pieces. Keep taking the step
Yeah.
on your road to success. Keep taking the step.
Chewable bites.
Chewable bites. And don't worry about where you're going.
Yeah.
Just worry.
Sometimes when
where you were
I mean, we
and
need
go
to
to the next step.
understand that there's
Yeah.
a big picture.
Yeah.
But if we try to do the big picture right straight to the end,
Right.
we're going to have difficulties.
Right.
So you're telling us to look at the big picture
Yeah.
in scenes,
Yes.
small scenes,
Yes.
one at a time.
Yes.
Handle this scene, then handle this scene, then handle this scene.
Yes. But I can tell you, it's very important to kind of know where you want to be heading, because you
That's-
probably won't get there if you don't know what.
Yep.
That's Yogi Bear, right?
Story of my life. Story of my life. Story of my writing life
Yeah.
is that I don't always know the end,
Right.
but I always know what I think is
is.
the end.
Yeah.
And I can change that as I go,
Yeah.
but I have to have a sense of where
Right.
I'm going.
Right. It's like a target shooting. It's like throwing darts. You might know where you're going in general,
Yeah.
but you don't know exactly where the bullseye is.
Yep.
But as long as you're in that general vicinity, going that way,
Yeah.
it can always change.
You can always work towards the bullseye, even if the bullseye has to change.
Right. That's exactly
Like hunting.
It. That's exactly
You
it.
can't shoot it where the deer was. You have to shoot it where the deer's going.
Exactly.
Or
exactly.
football. You don't throw the pass where your
where-
receiver is. You throw it where the receiver
Right.
is going.
Right. Exactly.
Makes sense.
exactly. So.
Well, Seth, speaking of where we're going towards the end real fast.
Aw.
So, here's a question for you. Any final words for these people out there?
Oh, final words is that the new book is coming out
April 9th.
April
1st,
just
April 1st.
like your book.
Yeah.
And it is going. If you want more information about the book, you can go to my website,
Okay. I think we have your website up there.
Creative Warrior Secrets.
There it is.
.com.
There it is, yep.
And you can pre-order the book through my website, and there are free newsletters
so I can
on my
get-
website.
Okay. and helpful information.
And helpful
to help us with.
information. Yeah.
All makes sense.
Yeah.
Seth, I can't thank you enough for being with us
Yes.
today. A lot of good information. I am going to go home and have a meeting with my creative warrior.
Yes.
And see what I can do.
Vinny, nice.
So,
Thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. Go out there and try to find out what that creative warrior is inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Go home and begin being the best you can be. Thank you for joining us. Join us again for more shows and more people with passion.
All right.